welcome to another fabulous episode of How Many Tabs Are Open on Mr. Johnson's Computer? 2, 4, 6, 8, boop, 7. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at today's assignments. Remember, I think all of y'all have a reading map test today or have already taken your reading map test. Remember, tomorrow, Tuesday, is Science Star, and then Wednesday is your math map test for those of you that did not take the STAR test. So Wednesday for Mr. Johnson's class. Anyway, okay, so we're going to take a look at our math. May 17th, week 31st, week 31st, week 31, activity 1. So notice and wonder, look at the numbers below. So it looks like there's a pattern. Doo-doo-doo. Looks like there's a pattern. All right, so is it additive, where we're adding to the number each time? Or is it multiplicative, where we're multiplying each time? That's what we need to figure out. So there's a clue right here. Does the third digit in each number help you see the pattern? So as you can see, the third digit is alternating between 2 and 7. All right, so that's kind of a hint that we have some kind of pattern going on here. And then it says what is being added each time to change the number. So let's take a look at this and figure out what we're looking at. So, wow. So we'll get through all this old stuff. We've done a lot of math. Okay, so we'll just look at our numbers. So it had 22 hundredths, 37 hundredths, 52 hundredths, 67 hundredths, and 82 hundredths. Okay, and so if you look, we can see that our last digit is alternating between 2 and 7. So if you think about it, like if we add, let's try adding, if we added 10, it would be 32 hundredths, right? So let's take a look at 22 hundredths. If we added 10 hundredths, it would be 32 hundredths, right? How many more to get to 37? If you said we still need 5 hundredths, oops. Yeah. So between 10 hundredths or 1/10 and 5 hundredths, that's 15 hundredths. So it looks like every time we add 15 hundredths, we get the next number. So 22 hundredths plus 15 hundredths equals 37 hundredths. 37 hundredths plus 15 hundredths equals 52 hundredths. 52 hundredths plus 15 hundredths, 67 hundredths. So it looks like our rule would be plus 15 hundredths. If we're going to do it as a 5th grade rule, it would be y equals whatever our x value is plus 15 hundredths, right? Because we probably have something that looks more like this. So we would have an input-output table and we'd be trying to figure out what is happening each time. If you start with this number and end with this number, we are adding 15 hundredths each time. So there's a rule, y equals 15, or x plus 15 hundredths. So when we go back and look at this, it looks like each time we skip count, we added another 15 hundredths, all right? And if we just remove the decimal point, it'd be like 15. So sometimes the decimals make us think more. So if you just remove the decimal point, just look at the pattern. How would 22 turn into 37? How would 37 turn into 52? How would 52 turn into 67? So on and so forth. So we're going to use this same information to help us with our assignment today. So let's take a looky look. Today's assignment is going to have tables because we're going to be looking at the input-output tables for today and tomorrow. Today we're looking at additive rules, and tomorrow we'll be looking at multiplicative rules. Remember, an additive rule is when you're adding to your input to get your output, and then a multiplicative rule is when you're multiplying times your input to get your output. So today is strictly additive rules, where we are adding. We take a number, we add to it, and we get our y. So we take our x value, we add to our x value, and we get y. So what are we adding to our x to get y? How do we turn 3 into 4 and 5/10? How do we turn 6 into 7 and 5/10? How do we turn 9 into 10 and 5/10? So that's what we're going to work on today. All right. So first off, we are going to figure out which one of these, x plus 1 and 5/10 or x plus 3, works best. All right. So I'm going to take all my x values, 3, 6, and 9. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 because here is x plus 3. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Now, 6, 9, and 12 are not my values here. So let's try the same thing with adding 1 and 5/10. All right, so 3 plus 1 and 5/10. So 3 plus 1 is 4, plus the 5/10 would be 4 and 5/10. Remember, if you're doing the math, 3 plus 4 and 5/10, remember emoji zeros will help you. Oops, I added the wrong thing, but still. The emoji zeros will help you add things together. So let's say this was a 1. That's what I meant to do. There we go. 4 and 5/10. So remember, drop the decimal point like it's hot. Okay, so 3 plus 1 and 5/10 is 4 and 5/10. 6 plus 1 and 5/10. 6 plus 1 is 7, plus the 5/10. 7 and 5/10. 9 plus 1 and 5/10. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus the 5/10 is 10 and 5/10. So only one of these equations, remember we're working with equations this week because there's an equal sign. Only one of these equations works with the table, and it is the one that says y equals x plus 1 and 5/10. That's funny that it took 5 with us. Okay, so y equals x plus 1 and 5/10 will be the correct answer on this one. All right, let's move on. This one, I want you to try the same thing. All right, so I'm going to set you up on this one. So we're going to fill in the x over here. So y is equal to 1 and 5/10. That's the x over here, plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 5/10. So 2 and 5/10. Y equals 2 and 5/10 plus 1, according to this rule over here, plus 1. So that would be 3 and 5/10. So far, I'm not sure that that one works. Let's see, let's try it with this one. Y equals x plus 2. We're going to replace x with 1 and 5/10. And then it says plus 2. 2 plus 1 is 3 and 5/10. Okay. And then we'll take the same x over here, 2 and 5/10. We'll add 2, because our rule says to add 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, and then 5/10. All right. So there is some work using y equals x plus 1. Here is some work with y equals x plus 2. Now, which one of these matches the y in our table? All right, so I want you to pick which one matches. Is it y equals 1 and 5/10 plus 1 and our information matches, or is it y equals 1 and or y equals x plus 2? Which one matches? So look at your information over here and compare it to the chart over there. All right, next. We're trying to figure out what is the rule on this one. All right, so with these, remember, we're just going to go back and pretend like we're kind of in kindergarten again, right? We're going to use the box, all right? We're going to replace the x with whatever the x value is. And then, actually, let me clear this real quick. So we're going to use the formula, y equals x plus box. We do know our y. Sorry, I didn't fill in my y. So we're going to fill in x and y, all right? Because we have x and y, we're going to fill in x and y. Y is 15, x is 10. Oh no, it stopped writing. Is it doing that thing? There we go. Maybe if I start now. Nope. Okay, so 10 plus box. Sorry, I'm having to use my mouse again. My box is fun. Okay, 15 equals 10 plus box. What goes in the box to make this true? 10 plus what equals 15? If you said 5, you are correct. So that would make this true. Plus 5, right? Let's check with our other. Please work. Nope, the pen's still not working. All right, back to mouse. Let me try this. Okay, so let's try using the same thing. Nope. Y equals x plus box. Y equals x plus. I'm sorry, my mouse skills are terrible. All right, y equals x plus box. All right, now let's fill in our x and our y. Our y on this side is 25. So 25 is equal to, what's our x? 20. So we're replacing x with 20 plus the box. What would go inside the box to make this equation true? 20 plus what equals 25? If you said 5, you are correct. So on both of these, what went in the box was 5. So x, whatever the x value is, plus 5 equals 15, plus 5 equals 25, plus 5 equals 35. So in 5th grade, our rule is y equals x plus what number? Type it in there. Type in the answer that is all over the page. All right, so y equals x plus whatever our x value is plus that number equals our y value. So, your turn. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so we have another one where we are adding to our x value. This one should actually be a little bit easier to answer because we're turning 0 into this number. So if we turn 0 into this number, that means basically we are adding this much. You start with 0, you end with this much. That means you added this much. So also let's check our work over here. All right, so let's check our work. Hopefully my pen's working again. It's still not working, so I'm gonna have to write real funny like. So y is equal to x plus box. We already figured out the first one. 0 plus 1 and 25 hundredths does equal 1 in 2500. So let's try it with the second piece of information. Our y is 2 and 25 hundredths. All right. And then our x was 1. So I'm replacing x with 1. See, I replaced y with 2 and 25 hundredths. I replaced x with the 1. So what plus 1 equals 2 and 25 hundredths? I'm taking a guess that it's this because we added this 1 in 25 hundredths to 0. So I'm thinking it's that. Let's check. 1. I'm going to add emoji zeros before I even write it. I guess it's going to be difficult to make the emoji faces with the mouse. There we go. All right. Now, 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 2 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. Drop the decimal point like it's hot. And we do indeed have 2 and 25 hundredths, which is our y value over here. So it looks like with 0 plus 1 in 25 hundredths, we get 1 in 25 hundredths. 1 plus 1 in 25 hundredths, we get 2 in 25 hundredths. And 2 plus 1 in 25 hundredths would equal 3 in 25 hundredths. Just think about it like money. This is $1.25. If you have $1 and someone gives you $1.25, you have $2.25. If you have $2 and someone gives you $1.25, you have $3.25. So y equals x plus 1 and 25 hundredths. Boo, boo, boo. On to the next one. Ooh, this one's more like a puzzle. That's cool. All right, but they gave us the rule, so we're just going to use the rule. That's kind of simple. So we're going to use the x and plug it in right there. So if y is what we don't know, x is 3. So we're going to replace x with 3 plus 0 and 25 hundredths. And remember, treat it like money. This is $3. This is a quarter. So if you added $3 and a quarter, you would have $3.25. Remember, if you're going to do this algorithmically, emoji zero, oops, this is a 0. Emoji zeros are your friend. Remember to line up your decimal points. Oh, I just covered up my emoji 0, or my decimal point. That's a decimal point. That's a decimal point. All right, don't judge me. This is mouse drawing. It's terrible. All right, but as you can see, you line up your decimal points, you line up your place values, and then that way it's easier to add. Oh my gosh, my mouse skills are getting terrible. This is almost just humorous now. I hope you're enjoying this because I am sad. All right, so 3 and 25 hundredths will be the answer right here because we're adding a quarter to 3. So what did we add a quarter to get 425? Think about that. So we can plug in x is going to be a blank on the second one, so y is what we do know, x is what we don't know, or x is what we don't know yet. So remember, you do the same thing. Oh my gosh, my mouse skills are terrible. Okay, so y is 4 and 25 hundredths. So we'd replace y, right, with 4 and 25 hundredths, and then we're just trying to figure out what goes in the box. So something plus 25 hundredths equals 4 and 25 hundredths. What goes in the box? I'm guessing 4 plus 25 hundredths equals 4 and 25 hundredths. All right, so just think about money once again. If you just added a quarter to $4, you'd add $4.25. So if you add a quarter to 5, what are you going to have? If you add 25 hundredths to 5 wholes, what's your answer going to be? All right, so try that one on your own. And then let's take a look at this last page. More puzzles. All right, so they gave us the key to the puzzle. The puzzle is y. The puzzles here, our key is y equals x plus 4. So all you need to do, put in your x value for x, and that will tell you your y. Please, oh please, work pin. It still doesn't work. This makes me so sad. How about now? No, still no. Okay, so we're going to use y equals, and then we're going to replace the x, right? Our x is 1 and 5/10. So we replace x with 1 and 5/10. Now we just need to add those things. 4 plus 1 and 5/10. Remember, add emoji zeros, add a face to save a place. And then when you're done adding, drop that decimal point. So, as you can see, if we did this one, y is equal to 5.5, or 5 and 5/10. Or if you're thinking about money, this is $1.50. $1.50 plus $4 is $5.50. What plus 4 equals 7.5? 5.5 plus 4 equals what? And that's what you're going to answer right there. So this is going to be the toughest one. Remember, just use your formula. Y equals x plus 4. And then fill in the part you know. We do know our y is 7 and 5/10 equals some number we don't know plus 4. So we could also figure that out by saying 7 and 5/10 minus 4. Remember, line up places, add a face to save a place. 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 4 is 3. Drop that decimal point. and we have 3 and 5/10. So there is help for this one as well. Remember, you can just use the formula, plug in the parts that you know. If you know y, put in y. If you know the x, plug in the x. All right. So that should be it on that. You have a little bit of a practice quiz. So practice quizzy quiz. First question is going to be finding the additive pattern. So remember, 3 of these have multiplicative patterns. 1 of these would have an additive pattern. Which one shows that you're adding to your input to get your output? And then find which of these patterns matches. Is it plus 1 and 5/10 or is it plus 1 whole? All right. So hint on this one. All of these end in 5/10, and then all of these end in 0. And then hint on this one. Just know your 2's facts, your 4's facts. Those will help you a lot. All right. They'll help you debunk which the multiplication ones will help you realize which ones are not additive. Anyway, okay. So talk to your teachers if you have any questions. We're here for you. I hope you have a wonderful Monday, and I will see y'all later. Have a wonderful day. Bye.